Okay, here's my second match of the week, played in the Kent League against Kent against Hertfordshire in the Southern Counties League. My opponent here was Peter Barker, graded at 100. Again, my grade was 104. So let's see what happened. D4, D6, C4, and I'm trying to just play standard developmental moves here, and I feel like he's kind of cramping his position. I wasn't quite sure what he had planned, but certainly from the opening I was able to dominate the centre a little bit more. When he put his knight on f6, I put my pawn on e5, which forced this little dance. And now my bishop's stacking on the g8, sorry, h8, so he moves it to g8. I decided at this point it would be good to swap off bishops because his bishop's not a strong diagonal. My bishop's not really doing that much. You know, he's got protected on the light squares, so force him to exchange. My knight to e4, trying to maybe get a mate in 1 by bringing it to f6, but no, that's not quite to be. So let's see what I did. I put my knight now to d6, which, well, if he puts his king to f8, it's a mate in 1, so he didn't do that. Put his king on d7. Oops. Put his king on d7. Took on f7. Maybe that was a good move, I'm not sure. There's maybe other things I could have done. It does allow queen f8. Puts his queen in the game a bit. Exchange his bishop off. I'm pawn up now, so I try and exchange off some pieces. It's a check in. I put my queen on g3, but I don't know if that was a great move or not. I mean, it does allow this knight f5. At the time, I suppose I thought I could calculate that if he puts his knight on f5, I've got this discovered check. Putting my rook taking, sorry, my knight taking on g6, we can swap the queens off. But then I also saw that at the end of the exchange, well, he ends the exchange by taking my rook, and he ends the exchange by taking my knight. So it's slightly better for him, I think. So I put my queen in f4. That was pretty big error really, because after the queen starts making attacks, I put my rook there. g5 means that my queen starts to get harassed. The queen goes to e4. More harassment on my d4 pawn. So I thought I'd defend it, but that was a blunder because he plays g4 and taking that square away from my knight. So I'm not happy at this point. I'm feeling a bit sort of, oh, I'll muck this one up as well. c5. I thought there were some combinations where I could attack, force his queen off this position, get a check in, maybe try and win the rook and some of the variations, get my knight across to this big attacking square there. I don't know, it's all a bit flights of fancy really. Maybe I should have exchanged queens here, but I didn't. I slipped a check in to escape. Okay, so I put my knight to the centre of the board on e5 because I've lost, accepted that I've lost my d4 pawn now. Knight takes. And I thought about it here, like we're materially even, but you know, it's not a great position for me. I'm about to lose my b pawn as well. So I thought one way of dealing with it might be to force a series of exchanges, which I did. And now this is an interesting position because though he's got the two rooks, I've at least got a central knight as some sort of compensation. and his pawns are a little bit spaced out, whereas mine are centralised, though mine aren't active yet. But I did think that I could maybe have got this 3-pawn advantage looking at this one here. Maybe I can get something going there. Maybe I can use my knight to get a good fork in against the rooks or against the rook and king. But first of all, I've got to deal with this back row mate threat, so put my king on f1, b5 from him. I don't know, I thought that maybe that was a little bit premature. Maybe he should have started using his rooks a bit more actively rather than his pawns. So now I'm attacking his c6, defends with his rook. So I like to uncramp my position a bit. Now my knight's probably better on f3 than it was on e5. Now I've got 2 pawns against 1. I thought, okay, this is good. I can try and make some sort of attack up this file here, and that might put some pressure on him, which is what I did. So he's now threatening to win my knight. Put to f1, stop that. And then in this position, he retreated his rook slightly. I wasn't sure what he had planned here. I suppose defending the this pawn. King c7, get his own king into the game a bit. But this does allow me to get my king forward. Putting on e4, attacking his rook and his pawn. So puts his rook back to f6, and I take with the knight. Well, I couldn't take with the king anyway. I would have lost the knight. Wouldn't be very good with it. So he now puts his rook on f2. But fortunately, I've got my knight able to come down to d3 and defend the b2 pawn, which is I'm quite happy with. So I put a check in, pushes my king further up the board, which is where I want it to go. So I'm not too upset about that. Rook comes up to e7, defending that g7 rook. Now I've got potential to quite a big check here, which I thought was interesting. But actually completely winning for me, isn't it? It's a check. So he brings his king in, and I realise that I'm not going to get this check in, and actually the best thing I can do really is a perpetual or some sort of draw by repetition by not allowing his king to come anywhere in this side of the board, which is what I did. We had a sort of series of back and forth here. I think this was the position. He doesn't want to come here. He can't bring his king into this square because then I've got the same check and fork against the rook. So we agreed a draw. So in this game, I suppose the interesting position I'd like to discuss is back here, when I had some aggression against f2, then my knight here. How could I have done better here? I mean, I suppose I took the route of winning this f7 pawn, but could I have done something better? Maybe there's better attacks I could have made. You know, something against this rook or this weak c6 pawn. So comments or advice, again, much appreciated.